Because, folks, let's face it, if black lives really mattered, there'd be no reason to paint it on the street here, because it would be a given. But we all know, if we're all honest with ourselves, we all know that that's not the case. So then for the city to try to say, through its leadership, through the mayor's office, to come back and try to do a political flip-flop, so that way they can appease some kind of base on an issue that shouldn't even be a base issue. It should be a humanity issue. For them to do that is not only an act of someone that is not worried about leadership, but they're not worried about the lives that they've been elected to represent.
I'm just going to break this down. On Thursday, received an email that Monday the streets will be closed down. And it was told to me to inform all the tenants that the streets will be closed down. So that tells me that a decision was already made. The Greenwood Chamber of Commerce, we have a mission to preserve these buildings, what our ancestors left us, all right? And to preserve the history that our ancestors left us. We house the local Black Lives Matter right here on Greenwood, the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce. We house them right here. Now, how would we want this removed? Okay? How and why would we want this removed? We're in the middle of restoring Black Wall Street. Okay? And we got a campaign. We're trying to rebuild Greenwood bigger than it's ever been before. Now, this is something that the mayor of Tulsa is using to divide the black community. And I say no to that. Because the black community is not a monolithic community. We are all, we think differently. But I'm going to tell you one thing. This black community, we all love Greenwood.
That's right.
And we love what it stands for.
That's right.
All right? And it stands for resiliency.
That's right.
And there's no more resilient people than black people.
That's right.
When you look at these past 400 years of what we had to deal with. And so I just want the world to know that the Greenwood Chamber, okay, and myself, Freeman Culver, the leader of this organization, we know that black lives should matter. And in 1921, when they bombed our people right here on this historic ground, black lives did not matter. Okay? So we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that black businesses matter, black families matter, our children matter, and we're not going to let the mayor of Tulsa, we're not going to let the city council of Tulsa, we're not going to let any political leader in Tulsa or in this state divide the black community. We stand together. And that's all I have to say.
This started with the mayor and the city council saying that this was a legal issue, that there were ordinances in place that would forbid this mural from being here. And they said there was no permit and it was to be temporary. And how do you go from talking about an ordinance and law to then saying you reached out to the business folks on this block and that they told you they did not want the mural here, which we have found out to be a lie? And so the bottom line is this: we are not to be played with. We're not to be toyed with. This is sacred ground. And we're saying to the mayor of Tulsa, if we reach out to you and we ask for you to be steadfast in what you're saying, and if you're standing on law, don't then turn around and flip-flop on what you're doing. To the city council, you had the opportunity to vote and say, yes, we can make an exception because Black Lives Matter. It's not about the mural, it's about the moral. It's about the moral.